Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel InfoSec Lab, and today we're gonna be doing some red teaming operation activities. It's day number 8 of Event of Cyber 2024 from TryHackMe. In today's room, we're gonna be going some fundamentals of writing shellcode, generation shellcode from the reverse shell, and then how to execute shellcode with the PowerShell. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Again, as usual, we're gonna be going over some terminology, some fundamentals before diving into the real practical hands-on activities. Shellcode is a piece of code or malicious code attacker use to inject into the system in order to run some arbitrary code or take over the system. PowerShell is a powerful scripting language and command line shell built into Windows for tasks like automation and configurations management. It is widely used by administrators and attackers too. Why? Because not only of its widely used not only because of its usage, PowerShell also allows attackers to run malicious code directly onto the memory, which we'll be discovering later today. Window Defender is a built-in security feature that detects and prevents malicious scripts, including PowerShell-based attacks, by scanning codes at runtime. And because of this, a lot of times attackers have to craft their malicious code in a way to evade the Window Defender detections. And one way to do that is obfuscation, which we discussed 2 days ago, where we encode our command in some other forms of encoding and then inject that into the system. Another way to bypass security on the Windows system is to use reflective injection, meaning that instead of running an executable code or a binary file on the Windows machine, attacker actually go into the system and inject the code directly into the memory of the system and execute the shellcode from there. So that's called a reflective injection. Window APIs. API stand for Application Programming Interface. So Window API allows program to interact with the underlying operating system, giving them access to essential system level functions such as memory management, file operations, and networking. So basically, APIs are what allows programs on the high level to interact with the OS system in the lower level. The window API is crucial because many exploitation techniques and malware rely on it to manipulate processes, allocate memory, and execute shellcodes. So in this case, there are gonna be 3 main functions from the window APIs that we're interested in. One, virtual allo, which allocate memory address in the system for attacker to inject the shellcode and execute from there. Create thread, creating a thread to execute the uploaded shellcode or injected shellcode, and wait for a single object. These functions make sure that whenever the shellcode is uploaded to the memory, it ensures that the shellcode is fully executed. Accessing window API through PowerShell reflection. This is an advanced technique that enables dynamic interaction with the window APIs from the PowerShell. So, like instead of relying on precompiled binaries, PowerShell reflection allows attacker to call window APIs function directly at runtime. So again, going back to the concept, usually attackers will upload a malicious file, usually executable onto a Windows system machine, and then user will double click that malware, and then when the malware is executed, then it will perform its task on the target machine. But because of the because of the Windows Defender, it will immediately detect that, hey, this file is malicious, this file is suspicious, so we're just gonna remove it automatically, or we're just gonna contain that. So the file is actually removed or contained before it gets to the users. So it's no. So because of that, attackers try to evade Windows Defender's detection by actually injecting the code into the memory space. That's where accessing Windows API through PowerShell reflection comes into play. And then last but not least, reverse shell. It is a type connection that attacker initiated, having the victim target machine connect back to its attacking machine. So they upload a shellcode. One of the tasks is to the shellcode is the malicious code running on the target machine, right? Not only does it collect information, extract information for attackers or stealing credentials, it can also help create a connection from the target machine back to the attacking machine, and that's called the reverse shell. So those are the basic terminologies, some concepts that we have to understand. Let's go into the activities. So first, we try to take a look at how we create a shellcode. In penetration testing method, and MSF random is the very powerful tools to use, as we can see right here. I'm just gonna be copy and paste this one, and I'll go over the command shortly. So what this command does is first is specify the platform of the system of the target system, which includes the operating system. Is the target machine is running on Windows operating system or the Linux system. If it's Linux, then this one should be Linux. In this case, we targeting a Windows machine, so it should be Windows. This specify the architecture of the target machine. Some machine are running on 64-bit, and we have a lot of other machines running on 32-bit architecture. So we have to specify which architecture to be targeted at least. And in this case, it's 64-bit. Shell reverse this TCP. This very last part specify what kind of shells that we want to create. And now keep in mind that there are several types of reverse shell: staging and stage list. But at this point, you don't have to worry about those types of reverse shell. Just know that in this case, we use a reverse TCP shell. Excuse me, sorry. L host attacking a box IP and then L port 1111. So when you try to create a reverse shell, meaning create a connection from the target machine to the attacking machine, there are two things we need. The attacking from the attacking side, we need IP address and the port number, and then from the victim machine, we also need the IP address and the port number. So in this shell code, we want to specify the attacking IP address and the port opening for the connection. So over here, I'm gonna modify the command. The L host is gonna be the attacker, the attacking IP address, which is 10.10.233.3.116, and then the L port is 1111. Now you can use any port number you want as long as the port is not in use by the current system. For this activity, because all the answers lies at port 4444, so I'm just going to be modify this one to 4444 -F PowerShell. I think it's missing one there, right? Let me double check. Yeah, it's missing one. Should be 2 L's. So that this specify the format of the shellcode. Again, as I mentioned earlier, depending on the target system, we want to output the shellcode in different formats. It can be executable file right here for Windows system. It can be extension which for a Linux system, or if you want to get a reverse shell on a web application that runs by PHP, then you can just output this one reverse shell in PHP. It does all the things for you. But in this case, because we're interested in PowerShell, so the output format is gonna be PowerShell. And let's run it. In a few minutes, it's gonna be generating the shellcode for us. While waiting for the shellcode to be generated, let's continue with the next step. Now, as I mentioned, the attackers will try to inject malicious directly into the memory. In order to do that, attackers have to use PowerShell commands to directly interact with the window APIs, calling a few functions too. And this is the code that would be used in this room. Let's just open a new tab for this nano shellcode. Paste. Let's save it for now. Now that you see that the shellcode has been generated, this is the beginning of the shellcode right here, and this is the whole values. We're gonna have to copy this value and then paste that into this code right here. Oh my god. We replace this portion with the actual shellcode. Save it. Yes. Double check that the code has been updated. Yep, the value has been there. So basically what this piece of code does is what I have already gone over. Virtual allocation. This function allocates memory in the process address space. It's commonly used in scenario like this to prepare memory for storing and executing the shellcode. Create thread. This function creates a new thread in this process. The thread will execute the shellcode that has been loaded into the memory and then wait for a single object. This function pauses execution until a specific thread finishes its task. In this case, it ensures that the shellcode has completed execution. Alright, so now we have the malicious code. We have the code running ready to be run on the target machine. Let's try that. Code. Okay, let's copy everything in this one. Now let's go to the target machine right here. And we paste that, we run it. Oh, by the way, I forgot to do one thing. On the attacking machine, in order to create a reverse shell, which is a connection from the victim machine back to your machine, you have to create a netcat listener. So what is a netcat listener? It's like you're telling the machines to open the port number and then actively listening for any connection request. In this case, make sure that you know this is the port number. It has to match with whatever port number that you define in this command. It has to match, otherwise the code won't work. Set up netcat listening connection, and then boom, we see the connection right away. That's because on this machine, the shellcode has been executed successfully, and it creates a reverse shell, a connection back to the attacking machine. Now we are on a clip. Now we, as an attacker, are on the target machine. Let's check the logit. Oh, by the way, because this is a Windows machine and this is a command line, so a few commands are maybe a little bit different from the regular Linux machine. If you're not very familiar with the Windows command line, you can just type shell right here and then just use any Linux commands that you've been working on, like ls. Yeah. Oh, not shell. PowerShell. And then ls. You can cat cd to desktop. There's no tab right here, and then ls. You see everything, and then you can use cat to display the tag and the flag. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to do it on the regular Windows command lines. So right now, as you can see, that I'm not on. I cannot use ls. So the equivalent command is dir, which lists the content of the current directory, and we want to go into the desktop folder, same thing there. We're gonna be see the content on the desktop. Now if we want to view the content of the flag file, we use type command right here, flag.txt, and we should get the same. So that's it for the lesson today. It's pretty simple, it's pretty easy. Like, this is just a demonstration to show that how you actually inject the code directly into the target system's memory and execute the shellcode from there. And by doing that, we don't have anything to, there's nothing that the Windows Defender can detect. So that's another technique an attacker used to evade the security system, which is noteworthy. Alright, so that's it for the room today. Let's try answering the questions, and then this is a quick video. What is the flag that you want to click to get the reverse shell on using 444? The flag maybe, okay. It's right here. AOC. Copy, paste. Got my access. Okay, thank you very much for watching my videos. I hope you enjoyed this short fun room. I know that the commands are a little bit confusing for a lot of you guys, but don't worry. If you have any question and if you want to dive deep into these commands, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you with that. And I also have a write-up which I will link it in the description. Feel free to check it out and follow along with my write-up. Alright, thank you very much, and see you again next time. Bye.